of coaches leaving too. It's a two-way street. You know, I kind of see this whole thing. My first year in the NFL was 1993, and Russ Grimm, who was a player for us at Pitt, came up to me that day, and he goes, "You know, this whole landscape's going to change in pro football." And what he talked about, he says, "You know, I didn't know where he was going, but he said, you know, what I enjoyed as a player with the Hogs, being one of the Hogs in Washington, he says it's probably not going to happen much anymore. We had that same group of guys together 8-9 years." And so, you know, my 6 years in the NFL were the first 6 years of free agency. And it really impacted that league, in my opinion. Not that I was a NFL expert, certainly walking into it, but real quickly you learn to protect your own turf. That was the lesson that was taught not only to players but also coaches. It was really, you know, if you could produce and had production available at the right price, you were going to be a marketable commodity. And the minute they thought they could replace you for somebody cheaper, chances are you're going to be a casualty, unless you're just one of those players, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. So that was 15, 20, no, that was 20 plus years ago. So now we're moving into that. I think you're in that neighborhood a little bit in college football. So I'm not going to, I'm not casting stones against anybody. I'm not in their shoes, and but I think it goes back to what I'm saying. There's so many things with all the things going on in college football right now. There's a lot of mixed messaging, a lot of things for players to ponder and coaches to ponder probably too. And I think ultimately everybody's got to decide what's best for them. It doesn't do anybody good for a player to be on the team that doesn't want to be on the team and doesn't want to be involved in what it is you're doing 100%. It just isn't healthy for anybody. So, I applaud guys for making the decisions they make. And but it's a scary trend right now. Thinking about, and that was on the conversation I heard coming in. You think about a New Year's Six-Day Bowl, and we played in the Orange Bowl, not being that big a deal. It was a big deal for us. We were there twice, and it was a pretty big deal. But I think that's kind of become, and I heard a fan on this, whatever it takes me to get to work 13 minutes. A fan called in and talked about, these meaningless bowl games. And there's a real, that's one thing I think this 4-team playoff thing has created. There's no question about that. And that gets stronger with each year. There's such a thirst for, the playoff system expansion. And that's just the reality of college football right now that we're living in. It's 2021. We're real different than 10 years ago. And so this is going to be one of the byproducts of that, no question. And then you got a lot of agents out there selling young prospects that, hey, this is your time to go. And, be smart about it. It's a business decision. So if it is, it is. And that's what it is. But these are really interesting times in college football right now.
Do you think